Captain Kane Reinhart stood next to Admiral Leon Villanueva and watched as their convoy prepared for departure. It was more than he had assumed would be coming on this mission. He was back on Ethorria, after a week of leave on Earth, preparing for a trip to one of the city-states of this world. He had spent the last week with Aiko, having some quiet and relaxing time on a beach. They deserved it after the last several years spent in space. But now they were being separated, which was a bit hard. They had spent every day together for years, but she had been assigned to the new supercarrier, the Fury, and would spend the better part of the next year at Senka overseeing upgrades to the ship, as well as developing tactics and a doctrine for the fleet. It was a boring job, but someone had to do it. The negotiations with the Qash'vo'tar and the Zhal were underway, and United Terran Systems were sharing their magitech with them, even teaching their people for whom it worked. They were keeping the best parts to themselves, of course, and they hadn't revealed Ethorria yet. They'd just told them that they had been studying the phenomenon, one originating from an unspecified event that had changed the laws of nature. Kane wondered if they would be able to keep Ethorria a secret for much longer, but they only needed to hold out just until they built up a few more ships and magitech weapons that would keep Earth safe. But Earth was not his problem now. The convoy was heading to one of the city-states of Ethorria. The city in question, Emerith, was an old one, and was apparently one of the more powerful forces on this world. Ethorria didn't have kingdoms or nations, but rather was fractured into much smaller entities that resembled city-states. They didn't know much aside from what they could learn from interactions with traders and diplomatic teams who came to the portal. People from Earth were yet to truly be allowed into Ethorria. A few of their own traders had made trips to the closest city-state, Epoch, and they did have a sort of an embassy there, but so far they had not been invited to other city-states. Until now. This was the first time they had been, and it was a great opportunity for them. Because they had not only been invited to a different city-state, they had been invited to a summit between most city-states on this continent, the purpose of which they still didn't know.